Hello OMGers, Project X, Project J. We are going to go inside of, as it were, we're going to go inside my mind, and we are going to see how to set up a project for pay-per-call for lead generation. We're going to use two different things through this series. We're going to use the My City site guide and a lead generation site. You're going to see how I come up with the terms that I go after, how I set up the websites, how I set up the content, and also what I do exactly to get them ranked, the videos that I'm going to use, classified ads that I'm going to use, and just the entire process. And hopefully we'll even see some phone calls on it pretty quick. But this is going to be an over-the-shoulder view of how I do the entire process for a pay-per-call lead generation program. And the only caution is that this is a real demonstration. This isn't fake. This is a real client. These are real keywords. These are real items being ranked. So I would appreciate it if some of you eager beavers would not go after the exact same terms. All right, with that said, here's what we're going to do. Now, everything we're going to talk about tonight is about keywords and the keyword research that I do and how I get to where I'm going. So the resources that we're going to use tonight are pretty limited. We're going to use a tool called the Revenue Wire Keyword Tool. I didn't even put that in there, but it's the Revenue Wire Keyword Tool, the Google Keyword Planner, and HomeAdvisor.com. There are costs for this specific niche, which is plumbing. And this is what I kind of use to narrow down the types of searches that we're going to go after. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a little bit. So first of all, what we're going to go after is plumbing. All right, so this is a local plumbing contractor. You can do this in just about every city that you want to. I am in Atlanta, but I am not focusing on Atlanta. This particular guy does South Atlanta. He does McDonough. He does Stockbridge. These are little suburbs, down a little bit south. And I'm also going to do Decatur, which is right next to Atlanta. And these are all territories that he likes to operate in. And so we're going to work on plumbing repair and septic repair and a couple other things. And I'm going to show you how I got to that and the types of search terms that we use. So with that said, here's where I go first. I need to know what are the average costs for plumbing repair, and if I didn't have a conversation with this plumber, I would already just scratch that and just go straight to Home Advisor and say, all right, what projects are out there and what's their average value? Because that's what we need to know. We need to know what is the average value, because in lead generation, in my mind, if I am going to give the guy a phone call for a prospect, for a lead, he needs to know that that phone call is actually going to generate him money and not be an expense, okay? And so the higher the dollar value of the service repair on average, the more likely it is I can charge more for that phone call. All right, so here's what we do. I'm going to go through here, and anything that says like install new, I'm going to ignore, because we are not doing new type construction. This is homes that are in place, businesses that are in place, and that they need a repair. And so we're going to go from there. So the first thing I like to see, okay, well, obviously a water heater, install a water heater, that's a good one. Okay, $971 on average. If we go take a look, we can see the low and the high, and we can see it goes from $365 up to $1,400. And this is a good area. And I know that for you guys that don't know about plumbers, this I was talking with this client, and he's looking at on the low end $400, on the high end about $900, and he makes 50% profit on that, somewhere closer to 60% on the high end. So this is a good place for plumbers to make easy money. It's a clean job, it's a quick job, and they like this. Okay, homeowners, it might take them an entire day. They might mess it up. There's all kinds of problems involved with that. But the plumber, this is an easy job. If you can get a lot of these jobs for your plumber client, oh, he will like you a lot. So this is a really good one to know about. And then, look, here's where we can get a lot of content from. Okay, it gives us information about tanks and tankless, solar, gas, electric. It's a good start on content as well. All right, so then we go down. So let's take a look at some other things. We don't really want to mess with clogged repairs. Repair a water heater, we definitely want that. And again, that's a pretty good number, 744. Sump pumps, not going to mess with that. We're not going to mess with gas pipes. We're not going to install new plumbing pipes. And we just go down the list here and look at these things. Now, if you guys in the country, you might have some well pump repair. That's a good one to do. Definitely clean and pump septic tanks. We're not going to, at least I'm not going to go for clean and pump, but I am definitely going to go for septic tank repair. Let's see, install sewer main, no. Install a shower, no. Repair water treatment purification system. Well, that has a good number, but I don't know anything about that, so we're going to leave that alone. Look at this, 380 for repair toilet. We're going to leave that alone as well. Okay, new construction, repair drain line breakage. That's something that we might consider. Here's one that my guy definitely likes. Repair a septic tank, 1875. Now he says that the average on this is somewhere around $1,100 to $1,500 for him, but they can often go to $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. Okay, if it has to be a major repair, reconstruction, or all of the things that are involved in that. So we're definitely going to go after repair a septic tank, and you can see all these. Repair a sewer main. Definitely, that's something that we'll definitely be looking at down the line. So this gives you a really good idea of what the value of the search terms that you're going to be going after, what the value is to the actual plumber himself, and then if you know that he's operating somewhere between a 40 and 60% profit margin, you can estimate how much he's going to make off of every single project that you get. Now, you also need to know what his closing ratio is to really nail that down. My guy says, what contractor doesn't, but he says, he's like, 8 out of 10, if they contact them, then he will get the job. And, part of me says, yeah, whatever, everybody believes they're a great salesperson and, they get a phone call and they can close them. But on the other hand, what I know to be true is that it's very hard to get plumbers on the phone. And so if you've made 5 phone calls and you can't get a plumber on the phone or somebody to set an appointment, that guy that you call next that answers his phone, that sets an appointment with you, he is actually going to get the business. You don't even know the guy, it doesn't matter. And that's what we're counting on here. All right, so there's that. Now let's go to the revenue wire and start putting in some search terms. And you can see I've already pre-filled this. Now I really like this tool. This is an old tool. I've been using this for 5 years. And guess what? It's one of those really cool tools that you use forever, and it's free. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take some of this information out and keep it so we can use it. All right, let me show you how this works real quick. I'm going to take this out. Now, I'm going to leave the towns in there. All right, so what we can do with this is we can put a list of words in this column, a list of words in the second column, a list of words in the third column. And what this tool will do is actually just combine these lists and make it super easy for us to come up with a list. All right, so let's get rid of this stuff over here. We can also go over here and scrub these if we have a list, and let's say that our list isn't capitalized. So let's go back and get these terms and say that, well, we don't want them capitalized. I mean, this is a great tool. You just go in here You say, well, let's change the letter case. Let's make it all lowercase. Boom, done. Oh no, I don't like that. So let's just make all initial caps. Let's make it all uppercase. And we can do that. Initial caps. Boom, done. All right, so this is why I like this. And then if you can go in and take out spaces, words, and characters. I mean, remove duplicates. It's a really, really good tool. All right, so let's go back over here to combine. And what we want to do is we want to create a list of search terms that have to do with plumbing. Now, I don't actually start with the Google keyword tool because I kind of know what I want. I kind of know what I want to go after. I mean, look, we already know what the costs are. We want to go after water heaters. We want to go after septic repair, and you know, the other thing we want to do is we want to go for some built-in urgency. So how do we get that urgency? Well, what is it to you when there's a sewer backup in your house and your place smells like a sewer? What is it if you have a septic system and all of a sudden everything outside your house smells like a sewer? It's an emergency. And so that type of repair has a built-in urgency that lends itself to somebody making a phone call versus doing a whole lot of research and filling out email forms and hoping somebody will call them back. No, these folks have an emergency, and it typically doesn't happen between 8 and 5. And so what's the thought process? And this is how I really got into doing the pay-per-call lead generation. Is what is the process that an individual goes through when they're thinking about that type of service? If you're looking to buy a car or something, there's no urgency built into that. If you're looking to get your car fixed, well, it just depends. I mean, you're getting the oil change, or is the thing not starting? So the closer you can get to the problem that you want to solve being an emergency, the more action you're going to get in a quicker time frame. And so I don't want search terms for products, for services in my pay-per-call lead generation process. I don't want these things to be where there's a sales cycle that's 30, 60, 90, 120 days long. So for me, I want that built-in urgency, and I want to get as close to the problem as I possibly can. And then when they go to search on the internet to solve that problem, all I want them to see is me. I don't want them to have choices. And it doesn't matter if they're doing a desktop search or a mobile search or laptop search. It doesn't matter, because I'm going to use a responsive theme so that I can get my phone number in front of them as soon as possible. I am going to have my titles in everything that I use have a phone number that becomes visible in a Google search, because I have found through vast experience that it doesn't matter how much traffic you're getting to your site, you're going to get a lot of phone calls straight from the search results if you set it up correctly. And so that's the whole point here, is that we want to tap into that built-in urgency so that the folks who are trying to solve a problem can make that leap as easily as possible to our phone number. All right? And so we know that we're in plumbing. We know that we're dealing with a plumber. Those are easy. And so then we want emergency in front of that. So we start off with a list, okay? We just start off with a list, and we just start thinking of it. Okay? Well, I want to have a plumber. I want like the city plumber. I want plumbing, because you'll be surprised to know that once you put these into Google Keyword Planner, that some cities have more traffic for city plus plumber versus city plus plumbing. Others are different, and you'll have to figure that out for your own location. So we know we want those two things. We know that we want water heater repair. We know we want water heater installation, because that's an easy, quick deal. And then let's for this example, we're going to go ahead and do septic repair as well, and we're going to do septic installation. Okay. All right. So we have these terms, and when we have these terms, what do we need to do, right? Well, first off, what I would want to do is I want to put emergency in front of all of these things. Okay. So let's take, we want the first and second column, we're going to want to combine those, and now we have a base list of emergency terms, or we have a list of non-emergency terms. So let's take this list right here and just add it right here. So now we have two lists. And what we're going to do is we're going to put our cities in front of and in back of these terms. These are our base terms that we want for every city. There's 12 of them. And we're going to take our cities again. We're going to put them right back over here. So we have our cities. This is McDonough, Stockbridge, Decatur, and we're going to have McDonough, Stockbridge, Decatur, and I'm going to show you something else in just a second. So our first batch of search terms coming up. Boom. We have 36 search terms. So we go to the clipboard. We're going to take a copy of those, and I'm just going to put those right here. All right. Actually, we're going to have to run those. We'll run the whole list through it in a second. Okay, so here we go. So now we want to have this column of our emergency terms, and we want this column of cities. All right, so let's go ahead and put those together. Boom, we have 36 more search terms. And so we add them over here. All right, so now we have 72 search terms, but we are not done. What we want now is we want to add the state behind these cities, because some of them get more search volume than others this way. Especially in a city like Decatur, when there's Decatur, Illinois, if you go in and you do a search for Decatur, you're likely to pull up something from Illinois as opposed to Georgia. So people then will go Decatur, GA instead. So now we want to do the same thing. We're going to combine it again. Now we have 36 more search terms. All right, so are we done? Let's take a look. All right, so we have all of these. And I tell you what, for now, that's going to be good enough. We have, a little over 100 search terms. So let's take all of these search terms and let's clean them up a little bit. Let's put them in here. And let's have everything with initial caps. So we scrub them off. We have we went from 111 to 108. Why would that be? Probably spaces. Okay. Let's just make sure. Yeah, we don't want that. Okay. So there we go. Now we have a clean list. Let's just make sure that there are no duplicates here. All right. We can take this list, copy it over. I'm doing a Control A, Control V. All right, so we have 108 there. Let's make sure we don't have any duplicates. We're good there. All right, now let's take that and replace this list with that. Now what are we going to do with this list? We have 108. Well, let's go and see what kind of search volume we have. All right, so what we do, we know we can only check 100 at a time through Google. So let's just take, everything from here up and hit copy. And you can see I've already done this, but we're going to do it again. All right, so you go in. I guess I should go from the beginning. Let's just log in so you guys know what's going on. All right. So if we log into Google, and I would tell you, I'm terrible about this. This is how I find Google Keyword Planner. Every single day I try to use this. I type in Google Keyword planner. You can see, there it is. This is how I do it every single time. Probably not the most efficient, but that's the way I work. Okay, so we're going to start over, and we're going to add a new group in here, and we just copy and paste our list in, and then we're going to hit get ideas. It's going to say you already have a bunch. Say yeah, but I want the search volume. Boom, get the search volume, and it will deliver it. Let's go here to keyword ideas, and now we have a list of all of our search terms. We got 98 of them, and we have our search volume. Okay, now let's talk about search volume. When we look at these search terms and we see 50 monthly searches in this city, we see 90 in this city, is this all of the search volume that's happening? Absolutely not. Alright, so let's do this. Let's take one of these terms and let's just take a look at it and see what's going on with it. So let's take McDonough Plumbing, since it has the most search volume. Let's go to Google and see what Google is showing us for this search term. Alright, as expected, we see the ads all the way around, and Google said that that search term was worth $17.49 per click, and we have all of these guys looking for business there. This is a major Atlanta guy. This is Roto-Rooter National, Snappy Services, not sure who they are. Here's a lead generation company. Have Stockbridge, and then we have Yellow Pages. Okay, so we have some decent people there. We only have 3 people in the map box. Oh, what is that? You say, oh look, I have a video on that page already. Okay, yes, I cheated. I had some plumbing work done, and I talked to this plumber and I said, hey, what are you doing for leads, for business? And we had a good conversation. I gave a testimonial, did a testimonial video real quick. It only took me about 30 minutes to do the whole thing, keyword research, everything, and I put it up there, and just to see what would happen. So I already know I can put anything I want on this page. I did nothing to this video. I recorded a hangout. I optimized the video. Boom, that's it, and here it sits. Okay. So we know we're going to have some pretty good success with this. Alright, so anyway, let's take a look at this term. Alright, so this shows us we have 363,000 results. If we put it in quotes, we're going to get 4,200 results. And then if we go to the end of the search and put and start equals 990, we get 109 pages that have that exact phrase in them. Okay, 109 is not bad. My typical long tail rule of thumb is if it's 100 or less, it's almost automatic that I can rank in it. All right, so again, you put the quotations around that, you go up to the end of the search string, you hit ampersand, start equals 990, takes you to the end of the search, 109 results, boom, there we go. Easily done. All right, so basically if we go through that, for any of all of these search terms over here, we know we're going to be able to rank really easily. If we take the first one that has the highest search volume and we get good results, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We don't have to do any more of them because they're probably all going to be less than that 109. All right, so that's a little shortcut. So there we go. We have now 108 search terms. We've gone and checked most of them through Google AdWords, and we know that some of them have reported traffic. Let's see, we got 140, 180, 200, 260, 290, 340, 350, 360, 370. So let's just round it up to 400. We have 400 search results reported from Google. Now what about all the rest of these that have no search volume? Don't care, because we know that Google doesn't, report all the search volume that's out there for search terms. We know that people these days are more likely to put all kinds of crazy things into search, especially when we start thinking about the smartphone searches and how people use those. Now, I have a smartphone, but I have got these big clunky thumbs, and it's hard to type, and I don't really do that much. Besides, I'm a desktop type of guy. That's what I do. But I know a lot of folks use their voice-activated search. And when you do a voice-activated search, you're going to get different types of searches than what you would ordinarily think about. And so one of those things that might be, hey, is there a plumber near me? Is there a plumber close by? Where can I find an emergency plumber? And when you start thinking of those types of question-type queries, we have the ability to include those in our optimization plan. So what I like to do is I go back over here, and we're going to add some things in here. We already have this list, right? So let's go over here and let's add a couple of things. Listen, we want to have. Let's take it on this side. So I McDonough plumber near me. That's pretty much the biggest one I would like to add. So let's go ahead and add that in there, combine it, and now we have 36 more search terms. We should. No, we don't. Let's do that one more time. Now we have 36 more search terms. All right, so these are all the near me's. Let's put those on the clipboard. Let's go over to our notepad, go to the bottom of that, and just add those. All right, we have an extra space in that set. Why do we have an extra space? Let's see. Not there, but definitely here. Okay, let's take those out real quick. Let's take those out and let's fix them. Let's go over here to the clipboard. Let's go over here to scrub. Take those out. Put these in. And what we want to do is remove extra spaces. We scrub it, and we are done. Back to the clipboard. Come back over here and put them in. Now we have a clean list. All right, so now we have 144 search terms. What in the world are we going to do with all those things? Well, if you're like me, you like automation, you like tools, and there are a number of things that we can do with this. All right, we can build a page for every single one of those terms. All right, so we build out our lead generation site, and then we can build a page for every single one of those terms. That's what we can do. We can build a video or series of videos, and we can have all of these search terms be optimized for each city. So we have Decatur, we have McDonough, we have Stockbridge. We can do a single video and optimize each video for every single one of those search terms. We can even divide it into water heater repair, septic repair, whatever. But we can optimize a single video for every one of those search terms. We don't have to make 144 videos to get all of that, but we can definitely make some videos that are optimized for that, and we will do that down the road. But that's what we do with all of these search terms, and that's this is why I like to call myself the king of the long tail, because I've been doing this for over 4 years with pretty good success. And last week when I had a conversation with Mike, I was showing him, I have a single lead generation site that has 70 page one listings. And that's part of how I'm able to get so many phone calls from our client in that area, is because I have all the bases covered. Not only the big search term, from a volume standpoint, but all of the other little search terms. And I kind of laugh when people say, well, let's just go after that one search term. Okay, well, that's great. If a client's paying me for SEO, that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, yeah, let's go after 2 or 3 search terms and really make it happen on those search terms. But if I'm doing lead generation, I feel no restrictions whatsoever. I'm going after everything that I possibly can. And not only am I going to have one thing on that page, I want 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I'm really, really having a good day, I can get 10 things on a page. And that's what makes the phone calls happen. That's what, when you get to the search result, and every single option on that search result is the same single phone number, who you're going to call. Yeah, you're going to call me, you're going to call my client, and he's going to get the phone call no matter what. All right, so that's what we do with that search string. Okay, so that is Revenue Wire, that is the search string, that's Google. All right, so the only other thing, let's end it right there. That'll be good for this session.